Yo, 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 what's happening, everybody? What's happening? We're gonna be coming online right now. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the B Rock RC Show. I am your host, as usual, Bob Rock, and welcome once again. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. And I hope we're gonna have a really good episode today. How's everybody doing? You all good? I'm checking out the comments coming in. Nice to see you guys. Hey, what's up, Ryan? What's up, Matt? What's up, Dirk? How you guys doing? Really good to see you guys back in the comments here. If you guys see me looking down, I'm actually checking out the comments here on my phone because I am still working out all the kinks uh, for having my the comments up on the screen somewhere. So it's gonna take me a little bit, but I'm sure I'll get it right sometime. Yo, what's up, Masio? Also, thank you once again for joining in. If you guys could please do me a favor and share the podcast as well when you get a chance. Really appreciate it. So yeah, let's get right into it. I know I'm a little bit delayed, and I do apologize for that. But I was busy setting up the show to well to show you guys what we are going to be discussing today. So, yo, what's up, Austin? Thank you so much for joining in, bro. That's Austin Green from all the way from the US, from Ozark RC Drift. And I believe a good friend of mine, Rob Nick, he's involved at Ozark there. So big ups to you, Rob. So today we got a really good lineup for you guys. We're gonna be doing a little bit of we're gonna be doing a little bit of a show off for a body, which I've seen a couple of days ago by a really good builder by the name of Daniel Miners from Germany, and it's a beautiful piece of work, and I can't wait to show you guys. Then obviously we see the return of our very well liked track talk feature. I know you guys really enjoy that bit of the show, so I'm happy that I'm bringing that back because I also get I also love featuring tracks from all over the world. And then also I had a few requests in the last podcast, in the last episode, where I was asked to please give the new guys a little bit of guidance and perhaps show the new guys what's out there and guide them along what they should buy, what they should stay away from, and what they can use when they're getting into the whole world of RC drifting. Uh, Yo, what's up, Daniel? There's a man right there in the comments, Daniel Miners. I hope I'm saying your surname properly. So please, if I'm not, please correct me. And then there's also a couple things I wanted to talk about, and it's topics that I've come across on the worldwide RC drift groups and a few other groups that I've been on. So I don't know whether you guys want me to get serious straight away and then chill out, or maybe chill out and then get serious, or maybe throw it in between. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how it all goes. So actually, okay, here we go. Tell the guys the truth. The more NOS stickers they have, the better they will drift and the faster they will go. It's not about the speed, man. It's not about the speed at all. It's all about the style, the grace. Yeah, if I could eloquently, or perhaps almost philosophically describe drifting, then it has to be drifting is an art. It really is an art. It's an expression of your own style, and that expression also extends to the body and the style and the way you paint it, the way you do it up, And then even the driving style as well, it becomes the more you drift, the more you practice, you find yourself driving in a certain style, driving in a certain way that's uniquely yours, and you'll eventually find yourself tuning your car to drive exactly how you want it. So I think that's the beauty part of RC drifting. So it really is an art, and when you find your perfect drifting partner and you're hitting the track all the time, tandem drifting throughout the whole track, that can definitely be described as a ballet. And you should look at guys drifting out in well, I'm off the top of my head, I'm gonna just name a few Japanese tracks like Vega RC. Um, shoot, there was one. Dory Circuit, Doctor Circuit, sorry, Doctor Circuit. Those two, Iroha Circuit, the 168 guys. Oh man, you really should check them out there as well. And let's see, those are the ones that I can remember off the top of my head. In Europe, I don't know. There's so many tracks, but I can't quite recall them now. Let's see. Yo, what's up, Perry? Thanks so much for joining in, man. I really appreciate it, even if it's just for a couple of, even if it's just to say hi. I really appreciate it, man. That was awesome of you to drop in. Thank you so much. I don't know where my comments went to now. But anyway, that's it. Okay, so I think before we get all cruising and all cool and everything, I think we'll just get a little bit serious, and we'll discuss those things that I have been talking about. Sorry, I'm just setting up my comments here. Why isn't it coming up? Why? Why? Why are you misbehaving with me? Ah, there we go. We are back. Okay, so quickly, Perry says drifting is 100% style, but as in any sport, pushing limits is part of competition. That means speed as well. As for regular driving, 100% style. Totally agree. So now back to the topic that I really wanted to talk about. On a lot of these groups, we find a lot of new RC drifters coming into the hobby, which is absolutely fantastic. And as I've said in previous podcasts, the senior guys, the guys who are established, the guys who are there longer in the hobby, have a duty to take care of these new guys. However, at the same time, the new guys need to be a little bit more receptive to the advice that the older, more established, more experienced drifters are giving them, and stop having an attitude. I notice a lot of new drifters, they have an attitude. A lot of guys that have come into the hobby recently and been in there maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe even a year, all of a sudden start having an attitude, start saying, telling more experienced drifters that, oh no, don't worry about this guy, what he's saying, you do this X, Y, and Z. No, it doesn't work like that. There's a reason why the experienced drifters give that advice. It's because we've been through the mill, we've been there where you are now, we've done the work, we've done all the hard work, and we know what works now. So the advice that we're giving you new guys is only to help you have a better time in the RC drifting, and to help you sharpen your skill and uplift your skill quicker than what it took us to do the same. So the new guys, you really need to be a little bit more respectful and receptive towards the advice. The second thing I really need to address with the new guys especially is, you can't expect everybody to spoon feed you information. Listen to what I said. You can't expect everybody to spoon feed you information. It's fine that you're asking for advice. It's fine that you're asking for a little bit of technical help. That's okay. But where's the effort on your side to go and read up on the basic concepts of RC drifting? Where is that effort to understand the basics of RC drifting, as in how to drive, throttle control, doing figure eights, doing circles, basic things like that, just to get your throttle, your throttle. Damn, what's the word? Jeez, am I getting that old? Your throttle control, just to get your throttle control right. Then reading up with RC drifting and a lot of motorsports, or a lot of things actually, there's always the theory with the prac. It's not simply the prac will only take you to a certain height. That's when the theory comes in to help you fine tune, to help you finally understand what each part does, what adjusting that part does. So we can't sit and give you every little thing all the time. There has to be some effort on your part to find out. Like I've seen some really basic questions about things that you really can go and check up yourself. Like things like how to adjust camber, how to adjust toe, what is Ackerman, how do I adjust it. One of the more common questions is, where do I place my gyro? So it's things like that that you don't need to ask things like that. There's information out there. There's tons and tons of information out there which you can simply just go and read. You guys should really check out a page called I think it's something rear wheel drive. I can't remember exactly again, but it's a page started up by a guy I know by the name of Marcus Masanori, and he's written technical articles about each aspect of RC drifting that's going to help you immensely. In fact, I saved all of those articles. I actually printed it out, and time to time I read over it. So there's everything from Ackerman, from the front bumper to the rear. It has everything. Ackerman, toe, camber, your steering link ratios, what each of these things does, how do you adjust it, and what are the effects of that adjustment. So I will link up or I will share that page onto my page once we're done here, so that you guys can also go and familiarize yourselves with all of these things. And I promise you, if you read up on it first and then ask questions, you'll find your questions will be a lot more specific, because now you are understanding each of those aspects, each of these concepts, which is essentially, that is really what you need to do. Because once you get into rear wheel drive drifting, which is basically what we are doing now, only rear wheel drive drifting, you'll find that you will understand your car better. You will understand how to tune your car better. You will also find that you are able to identify where your car is lacking in performance, and you'll be able to identify all of these things. So let me go and check out some of these comments. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Marcio says YouTube is a great tool. Yes, of course. Ryan says, I wish there were more English tutorials than Japanese tutorials though. Dude, there is a lot more. There is quite a bit of tutorials out there on Facebook and YouTube. I will, if you're really keen, just hit me up. I'll link you up to those. And nice of my friend Enrique to join in there, and also share his link to his channel. If you guys don't know, Enrique is part of the Portugal Drift team. He has a very nice YouTube channel out there. You guys should check it out. Give it a follow. Give it a subscribe as well. Let's see what else we got here. Daniel minus. First, you have to learn to go before you can run. Yes, that is true. That is very true. I tried. Mercy says I try to understand. I try to, but the only thing I understand is at the end of the tutorial when they say sushi time. Of course. Ryan says has a question. Uncle Bob, your opinion about which is better, rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive? Okay, so I've come through all of the categories from 50/50 through to CS through to rear-wheel drive. What I can tell you is all-wheel drive, your 50/50 all-wheel drive, all it is really it's power sliding, because what you're doing is you flooring it, or you're giving it a bit of a throttle to gain that momentum, and then you flick it into a drift, and what it really is doing is really power sliding, because it's like if you have to compare it, it's like perhaps rally racing where you have or rally cross where you have all-wheel drive cars and you throw it into a slide, because essentially that's what you're doing, and now all four wheels are working, and that to master or to get right is actually quite easy. Then you move on to CS, which is counter steer all-wheel drive, and that's where you have a higher gear ratio in your rear wheels than your front, although it's still all-wheel drive. You get different ratios. It sometimes can go quite high where the ratio is very close to a rear wheel drive. Now to master CS drifting is very difficult. The most ideal technique for CS drifting, to get CS drifting 100% right, is the Korogashi style. Now I used to study Korogashi style. I tried implementing it as well. So from the articles that I've read and trying to understand Korogashi style, Korogashi is very loosely or very basically translated as rolling thunder. So the idea is similar to the all-wheel drive, but you want to put your car, get your car rolling and having some momentum, and then keeping those front wheels rolling. So that's what Korogashi style is. Typically of that style, the setup is with a front one way, and you have a lot more steering lock than your normal 50/50 cars. But to get it right, to get it looking really good, is very difficult. The last article I read about mastering Korogashi style was that the author wrote that it takes up to 10 years to get Korogashi style right. And if you've driven CS, you will understand that it maybe not 10 years, but definitely a good solid few years putting in the hours trying to get CS drifting right. So it's actually quite difficult. And then you move on to a rear wheel drive, and if I have to compare getting rear wheel drive right to compare to CS drifting, rear wheel drive is a lot easier than CS. Hell of a lot easier. When I moved over to rear wheel drive, it was easy. I found it very easy to take to, and I really didn't struggle a lot, to be honest. Mm, it's not fluffy, fluffy. It's 50-50. That's what I said. That's what I said, man. What are you even talking about? Oh man, this guy. So, just to reiterate again, guys, for the new guys especially, there is information out there for what you are looking for. You need to put in the effort to find out this information, and you need to put in the time to read up on all the different concepts of what are the different components of the car, what does it do, and what happens when you adjust it, and also how do you adjust it to get the performance that you need. If you can't find it readily like that, I'm going to drop a link to the page with all of these technical concepts for you guys to read, as I've mentioned before, and also so you guys can search for these things yourself. Go have a search for the hoodie setup manual, HUDY setup manual. I think that's how you pronounce it. I say hoodie, I don't know, but yeah, that manual there is excellent. It has everything very simply written, so it's easy to understand, and it tells you everything from your dampers to your wheels and Ackerman and Camber and Kingpin and um, uh, yeah, well, anyway, it has everything in there, and I promise you, you read up on that a couple of times, you'll understand what's going on with your car. So okay, so Austin says, revisiting the RC Drift Bible and Marcus's blog from time to time has helped me personally each time I go back. Personally, each time I go back, I understand more and more of the concepts. Each time learning also the big concepts from one-in-one drifting also have lots of videos on theory on YouTube. Yes, the Hoodie Bible. Hey, what's up, Rob Mikula from America? Let's see, Marcio says 100% agree, Bob. It's good getting an RCR set up to get started, but I think once you get into it, you need to do some research and learn yourself how to tweak the car and electronics, else you will be dependent on help and being spoon-fed. 100%. That's exactly what I'm saying at the moment. It's, I myself personally, I don't mind helping out at all. I will answer the same question 100 times over just to help the new guy. But at the same time, there has to be some sort of effort from the new guy to learn about these things. You have to put in some effort. So I hope that the new guys will hear me out and take this advice, and I genuinely hope that they will hear or pay attention to what I've said, and don't take it to heart. Please don't get angry. We're not chasing you away from the hobby. I always say, one of my mottos is always encourage, don't discourage. So I hope that you will understand what I'm trying to say. It's just, guys, you just need to put a little bit more effort. Don't be lazy. Don't be those people. Don't be that guy that's making zero effort, and then you're asking all the time. Now think about it for yourself. Every little thing that goes wrong with your car, you're on Facebook, you're asking in the group, like, how do you do this, how do you do that? When are you going to be independent of that? When are you going to reach that point where you are showing other people what to do? So just keep an eye out on the page. I will drop the link to Marcus's blog, which is a fantastic blog. You guys can check it out. And on the page, I'll try and, I'm not sure if I'm able to upload a file there, but I'll try and link up that hoodie Bible that you guys can have a look at. Trust me, you're gonna you're gonna love it. It's gonna teach you guys so much. So now on to the next part of our show, where we are gonna feature this beautiful body from Daniel Miners from Germany, and I present to you the 180 SX. I believe the body is the Revdi Wisteria body, but if Daniel is still around, perhaps he can clear that up. But from what I see, yeah, it's the 180 SX, the Wisteria version. And there you have it, guys. Beautiful combination of colors, and each color is complementing each other. I love the light, uh, the bright colors again, and mixed with the light pink in there. It's very soft. It's not harsh. It's not aggressive. Yet it looks very sporty, and I think it's a beautiful example of what people can do. I mean, the fitment is like it's class. So I believe that most of it is paint, and I'm sure you'll be able to see that there are some stickers on there as well. You see that California a sticker on the side there. Stance Nation, definitely worthy of Stance Nation. It has brilliant fitment, and it does have a lot of very realistic appeal in there as well. You see the rear window cutout with the feature in there, with the radiator and the fans going on. It kind of looks like an SRC product at the back there. I'm not 100% sure, but it does look like that. Okay, so thank you, Daniel. Apologies for that. I really should have asked you in the beginning. So okay, so it's actually a Yokomo 180 street body, um, and yeah, you can see all the beautiful details that Daniel has put in there. And I must remind you guys that whenever you're building a body, no matter how you do it, even if it's a single solid color, the attention to detail is what will actually make the whole body pop. So if you notice, and this is a hashtag I actually started a long while ago, it's hashtag body lines movement, because people have been doing bodies and not doing the body lines. And if you look at this body, Daniel has done all of the body lines in there, and it just adds another element of realism to the body, and it looks amazing. He's got the pop-up lights out there. Everything is done absolutely wonderfully. The body has been cut nicely, and I'm sure he's also sanded down the edges and where it was uneven. All the painting is on point. It's sharp, and there's no bleeds in there. And I must admit, you know what? Sometimes when I paint, I kind of overdo it, and I get some bleeds, and it's like the most frustrating thing. Like, I can't do multiple colors. I've tried it, and for some reason I can never get it right. I guess I just gotta practice more. But yeah, it's a very impressive build. I absolutely love it. It's definitely up there with one of my favorite builds. So good job on you, Daniel. Uh, you've done an excellent job, and you've set the bar high, man. You've done a really good job. So thank you again, Daniel. Daniel also is from the Toon Crew out in Germany. So for all my viewers, friends, and fans out there in Germany, go check out Toon Crew and perhaps join them at their track. And if you see Daniel out there, give him a shout out, man, and let him know what you think about the body. And if you don't like it, try and be nice. Clearly, he spent a lot of time on this, and I'm always amazed at how talented people can be. Like this here, the combination of colors, I'm sure the masking was like almost probably a nightmare to do. So something like this, you gotta layer it and layer it and layer it, and it's a lot of patience and a lot of time and effort that goes into it. So even if you don't like the body, if you don't like what he's done, you still need to give him credit where it's due, because that's a lot of work involved in there to make it look that good. See, everything is neat and tidy, and it's just beautiful, man. This is a really, really excellent example of how a body should be done. So really, well done, man. You did such a good job. I'm super impressed, and I hope we get to see more and more of your work. It'll, I'm getting all tongue-tied by how good how good your body is. So now that we've covered Mr. Miner's beautiful body there, I want to jump back to oh, yeah, I want to jump back to where sorry, I'm fiddling with things I shouldn't be fiddling with. There we go. Okay, so I want to jump back to another one of the questions that I received last week, where um, some of the guys have asked me, show us what's out there, what we can go for, what to stay away from. So I wanted to bring you guys or show you guys, and this is aimed more at the newbies. What's most popular out there, what you can get, what you should stay away from, and let's have a chat about that. Wolf, hi Bo. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you, man. How you doing, Wolf? Wolf is another really, really good friend of mine. Has been a great source of information and laughs and just chatting in general. So thank you so much for joining in, Wolf. Really appreciate it. Okay, guys, so I'm sure you're seeing by now, you're seeing the chassis coming up on the screen there. Okay, so we got the Sakura D5 here. So first I want to go over what's out there in terms of rear-wheel drive chassis. Then we got this Sakura D5 MR, which replaced the previous Sakura D5 chassis you've seen. Then we have the Tamiya TT01, your most basic entry-level car. Then you have another slightly weaker version, which is the HSP Flying Fish, which we have gotten so many questions about. And then this is the HPI RS4 Sport 3 or RS4 3 Sport 4, I don't know. Okay, the YD2, most popular chassis all over the world. YD2 full rear wheel drive, comes in a whole lot of combinations. Then this is the Shibata GRK Evo 2. This is the MSC RMX. So these first three chassis that and then the Sakura D5. So the MST, the Sakura, the Yokomo, and the Shibata, all amazing chassis that you can start with out the box. This is gonna drive beautifully with just minimal adjustments, minimal added parts. You will get it to run really impressively. There's a term that's been coined, and I don't know who started it, and it was called plastic fantastic, which when these chassis came out in their plastic versions, it proved to be really good drifters just as is, without requiring a whole lot of upgrades and hop-ups. And this was the intention behind manufacturers producing these chassis, where they could an RC drifter could get into the hobby with an affordable chassis that works really well, that doesn't necessarily require the upgrades. Obviously the upgrades, certain upgrades add to performance, certain upgrades are just there for show. But yeah, these are the chassis, the new guys you should be looking at. So it's the GRK, the Sakura D5, the YD2, the MST. Now you will notice that I didn't include the overdose gum. I have an overdose gum chassis, and I can tell you that is not a beginner's chassis. You you need a bit of knowledge, a little bit more knowledge about RC drifting and tuning to own and run a gum. Even myself, I don't have it running 100% correct, because there are on that chassis. There's definitely parts that you need in order to make it work like really well, to be really competitive. So that's still a work in progress, but hence that's the reason why I left out the overdose gum. Now, uh, with all of these beautiful rear-wheel drive chassis that I've shown you, or I am showing you, as you can see on the screen, I've included the most common basic chassis that you can ever get. Those chassis that I've introduced, like the Tamiya, as you can see here, the Tamiya, the HSP, the HPI, those are really good chassis to get you introduced into RC drifting, or to get you introduced into the RC hobby. Those in no way are amazing drifters. Now there's gonna be a lot of guys, especially in SA, especially in South Africa, that's gonna disagree with me, but and that's okay. In SA, it's been proven that the TT01s can be competitive, and they are previous championship winners in SA. But at the same time, you must realize that that was like 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. We have progressed from there, guys. You can't We can't keep hanging on to these chassis which are 10 20 with 10 15 years old, and expect us to be competitive and to up our skill and be up there with the rest of the world. No, the rest of the world has moved on from all-wheel drive completely. There's tracks out there in Europe and US and other parts of the world where they don't allow all-wheel drive drifting. But our RC drifting family here in SA is rather unique. We are governed more by our economic situation. Hence, we still accommodate, allow, have fun with all-wheel drive drifters. We don't chase them away. We don't discriminate against them. But there are certain facts and realities that we need to face, and that's it. So for the guys that genuinely want to get into RC drifting, are looking to get into the hobby, where you want to drift like those videos that you've seen, either be it on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, wherever, whether you've seen it live maybe. So if you want to get to that kind of level, if you want to drift like that, don't even look at this here. Don't even look at these next cars that are coming up on your screen. Don't even bother. Look at the first ones that showed: the YD2, the MST RMX, the YD2 in any of these series, the MST RMX, the Sakura D5. It will be the D5 MR now, and of course the Shibata GRK. So look at those chassis, and I promise you, you will have a much better time. Yes, the outlay is a little bit more, but it's a one-time outlay. It's a one-time cost that's gonna last you for a really long time. So I hope you guys will look into that. Who's this? Hi, oh, Robert. Hey, what's up, my man? Robert is runs Pro Scale, so it's RC drifting accessories, especially with your radio skins, and as well as your transmitter handles, the transmitter wheels. That's a guy to check. So check him out in the comments, And check out on Facebook, if you just hit the search bar, look for Pro Scale, and you will find his page there, and you can order directly from him. Fantastic products, really, really good. They look amazing, and I'm also looking forward to ordering from him quite soon. I need a new transmitter wheel for my 4 p.m. Right, let's see. Hey, what's up, Bob? Thank you so much for joining in, Bob Tali. Bob and his son Seb are one of the oldest supporters and fans of the show. They've been with me from season 1 all the way through to now, and they're long-time supporters of the show. Really, really amazing people. They're doing some good work. Fantastic people to have in the hobby as well. So big ups to you, Bob, and thank you so much for joining in again. So I think it's time now we get to our favorite part of the show. We see the return of our show, Track Talk. And if you just give me 1 second, I really need to learn these shortcuts. Jeez. Okay, there we go. So guys, on previous episodes where we featured Track Talk, I always featured a track from another country, and I tried to speak the language of the country. But since we are down in the visiting a track from a country which is typically English speaking, I don't need to do anything more. So on today's Track Talk, I present to you the Wunaroo circuit all the way from Perth in Australia, Perth in Western Australia, and the track is run by, or rather, a guy by the name of Suryan Eng. He's involved in the Wunaroo circuit. Beautiful circuit, as you can see from the pictures that's being shown here. Beautiful polished concrete, and amazing track. So hey Bob, Seb still enjoys the OMG version too. Nice. Bob, you need to speak in an Australian dialect. Oh my god, hell no, I can't do the Australian dialect, and I'm not gonna even try. I will butcher that thing so bad. I'll make myself look like a fool. So no, I'm not gonna do it. No, absolutely not. Okay, so I always ask the track owners and the track managers a whole bunch of questions, just to get to know them, get to know the track, and what's going on in there. So I hope I have a few followers and a few viewers from Australia who are keen on or close by Perth and the Wunaroo circuit. So here goes. The track is called Wunaroo Circuit, and the name is based off the location of the track. Okay, so that means that there's a place in Perth called Wunaroo. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Wait, Marcia says you do, Bob. You have to say the word mate at the end of the every sentence. No. I do not want to get cancelled, so I am not going to do it. No. Okay, the address, the track is located at 239 Lenore Road, Wunaroo in Perth. Oh, okay, there we go. The track is open Saturday afternoons until early Sunday morning, weekly, and the track fee is 20 Australian dollars. Track is open to the public, and the newcomers are encouraged and welcome. Now you see, this is what I like to hear. Newcomers are encouraged and welcome, and I'm sure you guys remember from other podcasts, other episodes, where I've always said that we need to encourage, we need to welcome, we need to almost celebrate the newcomers that arrive at the track. It's the only way that we're going to get more and more people to come to the hobby and stay in the hobby. So it's nice to hear that all of these tracks, so far all of the tracks that are featured, they are all very welcoming, very encouraging, and trying to get all the newcomers to come to the track and stay and learn and just have fun in the hobby. Hey, what's happening, Matt? How you doing, man? Kamua D for life. Okay, so the Wunaroo circuit has been open since 2018, and it's an indoor facility. Originally, it was a painted surface, but now, as well, I mean, you can see the track is now polished concrete. Currently, the control tie is MST silver dots. That's interesting. I noticed a lot of tracks out there actually run MST tires. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Here in SA, as I've said many times before, we run Yokomo tires because we found that the Yokomo tires actually give the best performance for the surfaces that we run out of all. I've run DS Racing time to time. I run DS Racing as well, and I've tried a few different compounds. I need to try a few more because the ones that I have tried are a little, just a little bit grippy, so it does give that little extra kick. But so far, the Yokomo DRA tires for rear-wheel drive works like a charm. The idea behind that was that the drivers put more focus into suspension tuning and really understanding those concepts about getting more traction and tuning for tuning for more traction, and if it's too grippy, then tuning for less traction. So that was one part of the reason why we went with the Yokomo tires. Let's see. One of the circuit was opened as a facility that was previously being used, was no longer available as the hobby shop attached was changing location. Okay, so this question, the answer to this question was like, what's the reason for opening a track and why? Wunaroo is at a private location and the shed used is a multi-purpose facility. Okay, that makes sense, man. Wherever you can find a spot and wherever they're allowing you to drift, just go for it, man. And it's nice that it's an indoor facility, which means that you can drift through any sort of weather. So the next question I asked was related to what kind of facilities do you have at the track, what do you cater for, what do you offer. So the Wunaroo circuit has food and drinks available along with bathroom facilities, and currently as a pop-up track, having parts of the track that's movable and storable is probably the main challenge. Okay, so I think that's obviously related to what he previously said about it being an indoor facility and a multi-purpose facility. So I guess that's why it's not permanent. They do host competitions periodically. Last year being 2020. Okay, so last year they ran the 3-round Outlaw Series, which trialed a different competition program to give drivers as much track time as possible. The Outlaw Series uses rounds of randomly drawn battles to give drivers a qualifying score instead of solo laps. Ah, that's interesting. Ranked drivers before the knockout tournament. This way, drivers were getting a minimum of 8 to 10 battles to get a good feel of the track and competition driving before the Tsuiso Battle 3. Very, very interesting. We had drivers judges from full-size drifting competitions judging the competition. Now, that is really, really awesome to see. I'm so happy to see that they are getting real one-in-one drifting judges to come in and drift the RC drifting comps. The only other place I've seen this was in Japan for the RCDC competitions, where they have judges from the FDJ. I'm not sure about comps in and around Europe. If you guys invite real judges there, or the real drift judges there, please let me know. I stand to be corrected. But so far, yeah, those are the so these are the only two places that I've seen where they have the real drifters, real judges coming in to drift the to judge the drift comps. Let's see, most popular chassis there: YD2 series, MST RMX, and then they try and accommodate newcomers by having loan chassis. This is very important for track owners. A lot of track owners I know do have this running, where they have loan chassis set up for guys walking in, not having their own equipment, but wanting to see and wanting to get a feel of drifting. So it's something that I think more and more of us need to encourage and need to accommodate for. His favorite moments include some of the Matsuris, which they have hosted, as well as the Outlaw series, along with some really, really awesome guest visitors. So there's one thing that I do want to return to, and I'll just finish up his answers and then I'll get to it. Future plans include building up on the scenery, making the track as realistic as possible, and possibly hosting another competition series. They also have been linking up with local drift teams and making replicas of their cars. And this, by this, he means the real drift teams. So big shout out to Team No Superstar, Miji Racing, and they're hoping to do a future project with Ken Leon Drift School. So I'll also post links to the social media pages so you guys can give them a follow. There's one more thing that I wanted to talk about that's come out of Wunaroo circuit, which is something very very unique to them, and that is sorry, I'm just setting up something very quickly, and that is, guys, tell me if you see it. Okay, very good. So this is one of the this is a video from the Wunaroo circuit. Let me know if the audio is too loud or it's echoing or something. I'm just going to reduce the video a little bit, the audio. Maybe that'll be a little bit better. Let me know. Isn't very low this evening. I'm sorry, Bob. Maybe it's because I'm sitting a little bit away from the mic. If I increase that volume, does it make it a little bit better? Okay, sorry about that, guys. Let me do this. Let me do this. I will fix it for you right now. I'm gonna I'm gonna do this here. Oops. Okay. Okay, now we are getting somewhere. Sorry about it. I'm playing a video and I didn't even realize that I didn't change the screen. Okay, how's that? How's that? Okay, so so here we have a video from Wunaroo circuit. You can see it's a beautiful surface, beautiful facility. I believe this is from one of the competitions that they've had, where they're showing the battle stages in here. There's a nice looking lead run in there. The follow car is a little bit hesitant, a little bit shallow. The driving line slightly off. He ran a very shallow line in there, but I mean, you guys can see what's going on there. The idea of this video is just to show you what kind of surface and what kind of facilities they have at the Wunaroo circuit. So the one thing that I did want to revisit with you guys about Wunaroo circuit is that they started a very very unique concept and a unique sort of category that I must say is a whole lot of fun, and one which I've been trying to get into. So it's called the I think the underpowered, yes, the underpowered pros class. So to tell you more about the underpowered pros class is that it's a very very specific category where they run front motor rear wheel drive cars. So we've seen that in Eagle Racing, we've seen that in Wrap Up Next chassis with the one FRD uh, and the MST FXX2. So they have some unique builds as well, some unique DIBs and Biancas and Busarokus. So for the guys, the older guys, you'll know those names quite well. So the idea behind the underpowered pros class is that front motor to reflect or to try and sort of mimic real cars, and then also the bodies they use are all from like late 80s early 90s, so we're talking like the FC3s, the AE86 cars from that era. And the electronics they're using are all brushless, but 17.5 turn motors, 120 amp, no boost, no turbo. So it's all about driver skill and your suspension. It's all about your tuning, your setup, and your driving skill. So that's the whole idea behind the pros class. So I think that it's something, and I've spoken about it in a couple episodes a long while ago, and it's definitely something that I think we really should visit. So the underpowered pros class. A lot of guys I know are running FRDs anyway, or they have it in their possession. So it would be nice if we could start something like that again. So I hope we get to see more from Suryan Eng and the Wunaroo circuit. It'll be really really fantastic. So guys, that rounds up today's episode, and I'm just gonna let that run for you guys there. And yeah guys, that's it. So that brings us to the end of our track talk feature, and pretty much all the things I wanted to talk about today. There are a couple product features which we can talk about soon, so I will bring that to you in next week's episode, where I'm going to feature a little bit about the Eurofighter D1 conversion chassis for the YD2. It looks really really good, and I think actually, you know what, that's a good idea. I'm going to next week's episode I'm going to bring you guys the conversion kits. So we're going to be looking at Eurofighter, TDP, SPL, Team Jordan. Oh, can't forget Team Jordan with their beast mode conversion kits. We're talking Addiction, Wrap Up Next. Let's see what else. Am I missing anybody else? Well, if I am, you guys let me know. So we're going to be doing all the conversion kits, which I think will be very interesting for you guys to see. Oh yeah, there's also Air Racing. Then we're going to be, hopefully by then we're going to be seeing the actual release of the Futaba T10PX, which has been a very hotly awaited new radio, and this thing is like the bee's knees, man. If you thought the 7PX and the 7PXR was good, this thing is on a totally another level. So I'm gonna be very interested in seeing. Yes, yes, the RevD. How can I forget that? Jeez, the RevD MC1 as well. So we're going to be featuring all of those conversion kits, bringing you a little bit about each conversion kit. And hopefully, I'm actually trying to organize live interviews as well. So I actually need some help with figuring out how to set that up and bring that in with OBS. So, uh, help, please, somebody. Let me know how this thing works, how we can bring it in. I'd really appreciate it. I think it will be fantastic if I could make it work. So, let me know, please. And then, yeah, so a couple of product features. We're going to feature another track. Where in the world are we going to go next? I'd love to hear your guesses. Where in the world would you like to go next? And also remember, whichever country we go to, we, and when I say we, I mean me, I'll be learning the language of the country. Just a little introduction, nothing too fancy. I'm going to keep it nice and simple, like we did before, and that's going to be exciting. I've been trying to get in touch with some Korean buddies, but yeah, that's a challenge on its own. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. So, guys, once again, thank you guys so much for joining in to today's episode of the B Rock RC Show, a live podcast for the drifters by a drifter. Um, if you guys do want to contribute towards the show, I will be dropping a link very soon. I'm just setting that up. All the proceeds of those support is going to go into upgrading my very noisy PC, and also with getting another, it's just going to help me to buy another screen so I can set up everything nicely, and then get a boom a mic stand, and then get a mic, a proper mic. And I already have a very nice camera as well, so it's just gonna assist me with getting all this lovely equipment so I can give you an even more fantastic show. Other than that, thank you so much for joining in. Please keep on watching, commenting, sharing, liking, and subscribing. Also, remember, all the episodes are uploaded onto my YouTube channel. The link to that YouTube channel you can find on the page, on the B-Rock RC Show page. If you look under the About section, you'll find it right there. And yeah, help me pick up the numbers, man. And you can also check me out on Instagram at bob_rock. I always follow back. I hope you guys have an awesome week ahead and a fantastic weekend coming through. If there's anything you'd like me to chat about in the next episode, or perhaps something you'd like me to feature or review, just hit me up, send me a message, send the page a message, and I usually respond really quickly. So big shout out to my Kamoa D family, my entire SA RC drifting family, also to my sponsor One-Up Racing out in the US, Mr. Joe Pullers. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be part of the One-Up family, the One-Up Racing family once again for the second year in a row. It's really appreciated, and I hope that I can make your name a whole lot bigger. And thank you once again to everybody for joining in. You guys are the real MVPs, and you are the reason I do this show. So let the new guys know that this is the show for them to watch, and I'll see you guys next time. So take care. Peace.